Alright, Shalom Akim, Kahal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash, those the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule, and peace and salutation to the Akim around the world that pushes truth to the four corners of the earth. Alright, to say I'll go through a few precepts here, not long. I'll entitle it, Being a Sacrifice is Required of Thee. Alright. You'll see a lot of the things that you used to do when you was in the world, when you didn't have the understanding. When you do get the understanding, you have to give that up. Right? See there, I'll start Romans 12, verse 1, and say, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto power, which is your reasonable service. Right? Just like how, for example, with wives, a wife actually belongs to her husband. The same way you belong to your Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's not about, what you prefer to do or what you like to do. You got to do what is required of thee. That's a servant's role. Right? You are that modern day sacrifice. Okay, see, long time Israel used to abuse the privilege, whereas whenever they do something wrong, they just go and sacrifice a goat and a goat or two lamb and they feel like it. But you actually is that sacrifice spiritually in these modern times. Right? It's saying, be not conformed to this world, but ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which is something that has happened to you in this truth. Because before you was conformed to the world, doing things pleasing to the flesh, but now that you're in the spirit, you're doing things to please the Most High. Right? That ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of power. Not your will, but the will of power himself. Right? So there's say 1 Samuel 15. Samuel 15, I'll start from 20. It says, and Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. Right? It said, but the people took the spoils, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed. And that was what they was ordered to do through the law. There are certain places, if you're going to take them over, you're supposed to destroy every single thing. Certain places you could be able to take certain spoils, but certain places you go, you have to destroy every single thing. Right? To say, but the people took the spoils, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, and sacrificed unto the Lord thy power in Gilgal. And you'll see Israel, they just carry the same spirit, whereas they wouldn't do it according to the Lord's ordinance. They will want to do it their own way and want that to be acceptable. It says, and Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? It said, behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Because really and truly, obedience is a sacrifice in itself. You understand? Because the term sacrifice on the whole means to what? It means to give up. We'll look up that. You'll see the actual definitions of the term sacrifice. It's not just about slaughtering lambs. Right? Sacrifice is the act of giving up something that you want to keep, especially in order to get or do something else or to help someone, right? You understand? So the act of sacrifice is given up to receive. Like you'll see, like in certain, like in a popular cartoon it had a long time, Yu-Gi-Oh! When you had a weak monster, you sacrifice that to obtain something better. And that is what we do in this truth. We actually sacrifice the things that we want to receive a greater glory in the end. Right? It's synonyms. It's offer, right? Consecrate, dedicate, devote, give, hand over, surrender, yield. Already and truly, 2/3 of Israel are not in that spirit, whereas they doesn't want to yield or to give up the self. Right? It says verse 23, Samuel, it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And you see how the scriptures say rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and the penalty for which is to what? And the 2/3 of Israel for being rebellious. What's going to happen to them? You see the Psalms 51, I'll start from 16, right? It say for thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. Now this wasn't talking about like the peace offerings and so forth, because the scriptures say that these things are sweet savor unto the Lord. It's referring to you yourself, as in supposed to doing the correct thing. The Most High do delight in you transgressing willingly, and then make a sacrifice after. He delight in obedience. Right? Verse 17. It said, a sacrifice of power are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. Right? And all that goes back to that type of sacrifice also. The afflictions that he has had to go through. Right? I read it say, the sacrifice of power are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, O power, thou wilt not despise. Ready and truly in this truth become like soldiers. And how the Most High is actually, how he is actually be purged. You understand, to be purified is by that heavy affliction that we have to go through on a daily basis in this place. And all these things are required of you because you are a living sacrifice. So really and truly, as a man of the truth, you just had to be in that spirit, whereas you had to be able to give up stuff. You'll see even the parable with the man who he was talking to, and he say sell all that thou hast and give it to the poor, and you see you'll receive riches in heaven. And he was sorrowful he couldn't do it because he didn't want to give up. You understand? He didn't want to sacrifice. He was too complacent. He did love too much. He did value the things of the world too much. And that is really being men's biggest obstacle when it comes to sacrifice. They want to study the lust of the flesh. So the Proverbs 15:13, it say, merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. Right? It say, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. You see, like even when they're training soldiers, what do they do? So they just break them accordingly. You understand? That's how you actually groom them to be how you want them to be. Just like when you true, the Most High is actually breaking in a sense. Yes, take certain things away from you. And yes, make you more patient and make you more tough, make you more manly. The scriptures talk about showing yourselves as men. They also say effeminate will not enter the kingdom. You understand? So all the things that we had to be going through is really to groom us into how we supposed to be. You understand? Because at some point in time we might have to be a physical sacrifice also. Whereas when the time of tribulation come, men might have to get a head cut off, might have to get a bullet, where the case may be. But you gotta most likely be paying you to be ready for that stuff. But you always have to be mindset where you want to be that sacrifice because it's required of you, as the scriptures say. And you don't make it too long. With that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutation to the Akim around the world that pushes truth to the four corners of the earth. Alright, this is Yaraba from the Trinidad camp saying Shalom, Akim, stay strong.